Morning friends, followers and channel members. Oh, welcome to what is for me personally a very happy flight. A few sore heads I'm imagining this morning, both for English and Danish fans. I don't want to start with the cliche, what a great match. Well, of course, if you're an England fan, it was a great match, but very stressful because the Danish team were fantastic. What a free kick. The first direct free kick scored this championships. Normally we've had a few before we get to the semi-finals, don't we? But this time round, that was the first one, and wow, what a shot. They made us work. The Danish team really did make us work. Fair play to them, and oh, thank the Lord for what I thought, and many thought, was quite a soft penalty in the end. That said, I do still think England deserved to win, not just because I'm English, but particularly by the end. We just looked like we'd still got the legs, and the Danish team, who were also playing with 10 men as well right at the end due to using all their substitutes and an injury, so can't really praise them enough for this. So good morning to everybody in the chat this morning. Good morning, Fitzy, glad you can join this one from Australia. And Dark Fury, good morning. You're expecting a quiet passenger flight. Indeed. Minecraft viewer, Mr. Pilot on Twitch, and Dave Butler on Facebook. Good morning to you guys as well. Paul Newman, no, quite right. Italy shall not be an easy team to beat. Very tough match coming up just there. Leonard the Chauffeur, good morning. As a Swede, this flight suits me. Copenhagen is obviously close to Sweden, so you're going to jump on board. Stephen Humphreys, good morning to you as well. Glad you could join us. Oh, right, we are at London Heathrow, parked up, similar place to where we left last night, actually. I think we've also got air traffic control online, which is really nice, going to add to the immersion as we depart out of here. Runway in use is currently runway 27 left. We're going to get started, and as we can see, the jetway terminal is already connected, and we're just getting the GPU en route. Looks like the catering is coming as well. Lots of teas and coffees, I would imagine, this morning. So a nice early morning stream for us today. Working on a Thursday evening, so no Thursday evening stream, so I thought we'd sneak one in this morning. Lewis Aviation, good morning, and Yanola Aviation, good morning from Luxembourg. Hope you are well. Oh, how much I wish I could play It's Coming Home on the channel, except we'd have a few copyright strikes on that, I think. I'm not allowed to do that. Lewis, were you in the stadium yesterday and you couldn't breathe? I think I heard a lot of people saying that the atmosphere for the Germany game was far better, particularly at the start, just because of the nerves that were around Heathrow yesterday, understandably so. And if anyone thought that it was going to be an easy ride against Denmark, well, they were proved very, very wrong, weren't they? Absolutely not an easy ride. Denmark gave everything, and when we went 1-0 down, how many of us thought, here we go again? Let's get on board. Flight pad turned on, GPU is connected. It looked quite cloudy when I first spawned in here. Looks like the clouds are clearing a little bit, so that's good. Check that battery voltage. Batteries 1 and 2 all good. Get the external power on. You know, which is my favourite aircraft apart from 320? Well, it depends if you mean historical or currently flying. Currently flying has to be the A380, just purely for its size. I think it's absolutely amazing. Historic has to be Concorde for its supreme engineering ability. And the Airbus A320 family for its simpleness. We're just doing the fire checks, engine 1, engine 2, and of course APU. Let's have a look at the operational flight plan then, which the operational flight plan is pinned in the messages on YouTube. pinned chat, you can use that. And we'll go ahead and start getting some people on board as well in a minute. Come on, why isn't this working? Pulling that information from SimBrief for me, please. There we go. Third time lucky. So that's all set. Current QNH here at London Heathrow is 1019. Gatwick traffic. Are we still tuned to Unicom? Yeah, that's why. Let's just clear that. Operational flight plan then. Let's work out how much fuel we're going to take with us today to Copenhagen. Planned fuel is about 5.9 tons. What's the weather doing in Copenhagen? Quick check on that. So 150 at 8. Visibility is good. No significant changes. Oh, we should be fine. In that case, we'll just round that up. We'll round it up. A little bit of fuel for holding. So if we take, we'll take 6 tons. 6 tons of fuel. We should be fine. So, go to the fuel page. Defueling, of course. Okay, 6.1 tons of fuel. That's good enough. Right. Fueling is underway. We have taken, how much extra have we taken? We've taken 1, 2, and the alternate. We've got about 0.4 tons of fuel extra. For the flight today, and that's all set. Defueling is underway. We'll carry on getting set up. Right, Lewis, did I say Gatwick? No, Gatwick was on the Unicom, wasn't it? That's why. Good morning, Alan. Yeah, it's still a better early release on the FlyPad. As soon as it's available, don't worry, I will make everybody aware of that. Cube Day wasn't even a penalty yesterday. Well, you're not the only one saying that. But do I care? 1019. Anti-skid is on. Come down, check the pedestal. VHF2's on the guard. Switching panel, thrust levers, and engine masters, spoilers, flaps, transponder. We've got flight deck doors open, parking brakes are set. Let's start getting everybody on board, shall we? Harry, yeah, I know I can change it before, so it's not always defueling. I just forget.
Cabin crew, yeah, complete the check, so now you can open the door. Okay.
Flight Sim Aviation, good morning to you.
Sure, no problem.
1019, flight directors 1 and 2 turned on. That's all set up. Let's get the primary flight displays, navigation displays turned up, ECAM displays as well. First officer's displays off. Iris alignment in 5 minutes. System status is normal. Right, flight management guidance system. Let's have a look. Try and turn that up a little bit. It's not the brightest of screens, is it? So, init press, let's get our information from SimBrief. And 1 hour 26 minutes sorted. Yeah, should have been a penalty on Harry Kane. It all balances itself out eventually, doesn't it? 84 GRNT. The operational flight plan is pinned to the chat. Okay, so let's have a look at our weights and balance for today. Fuel is taken care of. 170 passengers coming with us back to Copenhagen today, and a zero fuel weight of 59.1. Zero fuel weight, center of gravity. Ah, let's change that a little bit, shall we? Oops, not that much. There we go. And we'll get that loaded in. Check the gross weight. Increases. There it is. That's done. 66 tons, but we're still defueling. And now we can go to our data page. Aircraft status. Check we've got the right LEAP engines and valid AirX cycle. All good there. Init press. Let's get our route and information uplinked from headquarters. Our alternate today is Echo Kilo Bravo India. Oh, that's Golf India. Let's try again. Bravo India. Is that Billund? I think it is. Call sign today is Scandinavian 78 Charlie. Cost index of 19. Cruise level 350 minus 46. Just update that temperature. Tropo is 31,400 feet, rounded up. Harry can't send stars on the Facebook stream. No, Harry, you can't. It's not set up for donations and gifts on Facebook. Maybe at some point in the future. We're still very new on Facebook, but thank you for asking. Alright, that's all set. Let's go to the flight plan. So we're expecting to depart runway 27 left. That is the Brookham 7 Golf departure. And insert. And then our arrival into Copenhagen is going to be the 22 left. ILS 22 left. And that is the Tudor 1 November. Oh, interesting. It's not giving us the options of the VIAs. Again, how annoying. Right, well, I'll tell you what. We'll insert that as it is, and then we'll have a quick check. I'm going to have to cheat here, just while I'm waiting for the ideas to align. I have to cheat, because the simulator has bugs. Let's just have a look. Actually, that's exactly the one that I expected to see, and that matches up with the charts that I've got coming in just there. Perfect, that is the correct arrival, so we can leave that. Distance of 577 and 586 on the flight plan, so a difference of 11 miles, that's okay. Let's clear that out of the way. Okay, all set. RadNav page, we'll put the London VOR in there. We can also put the Brookham's Park VOR in as well, which is BPK. All done just there. Happy with the RadNav page. Harold, thank you so much, sir, for your $5 donation, and hope you're well. And Harold says, keep it up. Well, thank you, Harold. You're indeed very, very kind, and you're welcome for all of the guides and videos on the A320. That's why the channel was set up, to help people fly this magnificent aircraft correctly. So thank you for jumping on board, and again, thank you very much for your kind contribution. So we're going to the Init B page now, and our zero fuel weight is 59.1, and the zero fuel weight center of gravity 32.1. Let's pop that in there. Our trip wind, according to the operational flight plan, is a tailwind of 28. It's going to get us there a little bit quicker, isn't it? Tailwind of 28, we'll pop that in. So fuel planning is 5.2, and we've got 6 tons on board. Takeoff weight of 65 tons then, so we're below the maximum landing weight for takeoff. Good to know. Alternate required is going to be around 1.4 tons. So let's just pop that and update this. Once that's done, that tells us we've got an extra 11 minutes flying time. Not a great deal, but there shouldn't be any issues with the weather. And I don't envision that much traffic coming into Copenhagen this morning. Lord Cuddy, how's my head after yesterday's game? To be fair, my head's fine, but oh boy, I'm tired. Didn't get to bed till very late. So that's all set up. Let's have a look at the performance then. Transition is going to be 7,000 feet. Thrust reduction and acceleration. I believe here, I think Scandinavian user is Vatement 1 here, which means, let me just check the altitude of London Heathrow. Altitude of London Heathrow is 83, so 80, yeah. So if we go 3080, that's the acceleration. Flaps 1 and V speeds calculated. Right, let's do a quick departure briefing then. So taxi, we're at Terminal 2A, parking stand 224, I think, might be 223 actually. We'll have a quick look outside to see if we can get our bearings. So that's which way is easier to count? 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 6, 5, 4. Yeah, 224 we are at. So we're going to push back, facing to the east. We'll taxi along Bravo, and then we'll either take November 3. I doubt he's going to give us the full length. We're only an A320. We're not very heavy. We don't need the full length of the runway. And we're going to be doing a toga takeoff anyway, so plenty of performance there. And then the departure of Brookham's Park 7 Golf. No speed restrictions, but off and straight out to the right. No turns below 590. So there's the magic altitude before we begin that right hand turn, and the initial stop climb is 6,000 feet. Let's go ahead and pop all that in then. Zoro DK Gaming, hello again. You were with us on the flight here yesterday. Good game. It was a good game, and I know it's easy to say that when you come out as the winners, but you guys gave us a very tough game, and I don't mind admitting that I was sat there biting my nails for most of the match, to be honest with you. That's how good you guys were. It really was. Right, that's all set up. Let's just get the constraints on there. Passengers are still boarding. Other things to be aware of then, we've talked about how we're going to do the taxi, we've talked about the departure, which is nice and straightforward. Other things to bring into the scan then, so the weather for our departure is pretty good. We've got good visibility. If we did have a problem, we'd continue with our departure route. We'll get up above the minimum safe altitude of 2,200 feet, and then with ATC help we'll get initial vectors to come back in, land runway 27 right. So worth having the charts available for that if that is required, and yeah, ATC will help us with that. Say the initial climb is 6,000 feet and minimum safe altitude 2,200 feet. No times to be aware of, none at this airport. All is good. Threats to be aware of, well, we have a very congested airspace around London Heathrow, so we need to be aware of that. So I've got last few passengers coming on board. We're going to contact air traffic control. So let's give them a call. What's the ATC frequency for Heathrow? In fact, are they knocking about on here? London Heathrow ATIS, London Heathrow ground 121.7. Let's give them a call. Oh, in fact, just before I do that, ATIS is online. What's the information we've got? This is information Delta that we have. Let's give them a call. Heathrow ground, good morning. Scandinavian 78 Charlie type A320 Neo, parking stand 224, requesting HIFR clearance to Copenhagen, and we have information Delta on board. Is he there? Oh, what's happened here? Oh, I'm trying to transmit to the 80s frequency. What a beautiful call, but on the wrong frequency. Let's try again. Heathrow ground, good morning Scandinavian 78 Charlie is type A320 Neo, parking stand 224 requesting IFR clearance to Copenhagen as filed, and we have information Delta on board.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, Heathrow ground, good morning, clear Copenhagen, Brookman's Park 7 Golf departure, squawk 4217, QNH 1019.
Cleared via the Brooklands Park 7 Golf, squawk 4217, and the current QNH check 1019, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, correct.
Let's get that squawk in there then, 4217.
Speedbird 44 India Mike, request taxi.
Speedbird 44 India Mike, taxi Lima, hold Lima 1.
Taxi Lima, holding Lima 1. Speedbird 44 India Mike.
I think all our passengers are on board as well now. And the sun's coming out.
Captain, all passengers are on board and we're finished setting up. Doors are also now closed.
Great stuff, thank you very much.
Good morning, Gatwick Ground. Cathay Pacific Airlines System Control.
Did you just say Gatwick Ground?
Over.
Cafe 275 Charlie, Heathrow ground, good morning, cleared Copenhagen, Brookman's Park 7 Golf departure, squawk 0311.
Seatbelt signs on, fuel pumps on, APU now coming on. Dr. Magic, good morning. The passengers are very quiet. No, not singing anymore.
Charlie, please to destination airport via Bravo Kilo. Bravo Papa Kilo departure. Squawk 0311 over.
Cafe 275 Charlie, just confirm Brookman's Park 7 Golf, Bravo Papa Kilo 7 Golf departure.
Bravo Papa Kilo 7. Sorry, can you say again?
Cafe 275 Charlie, Brookman's Park 7 Golf departure, so it's going to be Bravo Papa Kilo 7 Golf departure.
Bravo Papa Kilo 7 Golf departure. Cathay Pacific Airlines System Charlie.
Cafe 275 Charlie, correct. Seabed 44 India, Mike Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
Safely with your seatbelts fastened, and make sure the aisles are kept clear so the back cabin crew will help seating other fellow passengers. The ground crew will not bring anything into the aircraft, so we look forward to
Seabed 880 Alpha, standby, break. Seabed 44 India, Mike, Mike Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
Thank you.
Rich, good morning to you as well. Thank you for the safe flight wishes. All looks good just here, and we can now disconnect the external power. APU bleed is on.
Link 5 tree, left Bravo,
Get rid of
hold
the
Lockheed.
GPU.
Okay, taxiway at link 53, left Bravo, hold Lockheed. Speedbird is route.
A couple of final checks, then we'll run the pre-flight checklist. So we'll just go to our data page, check the IRS is good, system's still all normal, and fuel is 6,080 kilograms, all balanced. Okay, before start checklist. Cockpit preparation is all complete, signs are on and auto, adheres 3 nad green, fuel quality has been checked and balanced, FMGS is coded, altimeter 1019. Let's get those doors armed and we'll get ready to start the engines and push back.
We're all ready to go, so please arm the doors and cross-check, thank you.
Put it on Twitch, on our Discord server there is great instructions and a downloadable pack that you can use. So it's kind of a custom pack that myself and a couple of channel members have put together, but it works really well. Here comes the tug. Let's get our clearance from air traffic control. Heathrow Grand Scandinavian 78 Charlie is ready for push and start.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, stand 224. Push and start approved, face east.
Push and start approved, facing east. Scandinavian 78 Charlie. Okay, before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors are closed and armed, rotating beacon light is on, mobile phone is on silent, and parking brakes are on. Let's get ready to push back and then we shall go ahead and start the engines. Release the parking brakes.
Cover 275 Charlie, stand 232. Push and start approved, face north.
Face north, Cathay Pacific Airlines 275 Charlie, thank you.
Engine mode, select to ignition and starting engine 1. Captain X-Ray, good afternoon from UTC +7. He cleared one hell of a game yesterday, it was, but a bit nervy for my liking. I do love London Heathrow. Any opportunity I get in the sim to visit London Heathrow. Normally flying Easyjet, we don't visit London Heathrow too often.
Ladies, gentlemen and channel members, on behalf of the crew I ask that you now please direct your attention to the monitors and cabin crew as we review the emergency proceeds. There are 6 emergency exits on this A320neo. Please take a minute to locate the one closest to you, and note that it may be behind you. Count the number of rows to the exit. Should the cabin experience a pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from your cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, ensure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave all your carry-on luggage and items behind. Life rafts are located beneath your seat. Emergency lighting in the floor will guide you to your nearest exit. We now ask that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. Whilst we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures.
Seabird 880 Alpha, continue taxi, link 34, left Alpha to hold Lowman.
Airplane mode until we instruct you that it is again safe to use them. Our cabin service will commence once we're in flight. If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel.
Seabird 88 Alpha, confirm link 34 to Alpha and Lowman.
Thank you.
Seabird 880 Alpha, A firm, link 34, Alpha, hold Lowman.
Okay, our pushback is complete and engine start for number 2 is still underway.
That with Heathrow car, Cathay Pacific Airlines.
Sumit Singh, yeah, so the pushback mortgage is called 2-bar pushback, available from flightsim.to.
Charlie, taxi right, Bravo, hold
Engine
Nevis.
2 is now stabilised, ground control can come off, APU bleed and APU master can come off, anti-ice not required, spoilers, rudder, flaps 1, trim set. And let's run the after start checklist. So anti-ice not required, ecam status checked, pitch trim is 32.1 and the rudder trim is set 0. Pushback tug is clear. Let's give ATC a call for our taxi instructions. Heathrow Grand Scandinavian 78 Charlie is ready for taxi.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, taxi Bravo to Lockheed.
Taxi Bravo, hold Lockheed, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Seabird 4 Delta Charlie, very good morning with you, requesting our clearance to Paris as well.
Seabird 4 Delta Charlie, Heathrow ground, report aircraft type and stand number.
So Lockie is straight ahead of us. Eo Ghost, good morning to you. Hope you're well. So just while we pay attention to HEC and get out of London Heathrow, won't be paying too much attention to the chat, I'm afraid, guys, but I will obviously be back with you as we are airborne.
The Red Sport, Delta Charlie Heathrow ground, thank you. Cleared Paris Charles de Gaulle, Maxit 1 Golf departure, squawk 0732, QNH 1019.
Roger, clear to the station, FlyByWire maximum.
So flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and we just slow down for
Lima 1.
Hold Lima 1, Qatar Pacific Airlines, Charlie.
just stand by a minute. Just wanted to check if we've gone too far here. That's kilo. Ah, no, we can carry on. That's fine. It's this holding point in front of us. Can do a quick rudder check. Rudder full right, rudder full left. Carry on.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, Unicorn 122.8, have a good flight.
122.8, thanks for the service, Scandinavian 78 Charlie. Right, okay, there's no ATC for our departure, so we're on our own, that's okay. What we're going to do is then we're going to depart by November 3, so we'll make a right-hand turn here in a moment.
Cabin 275 Charlie, give way to the right, Unicorn 122.8, bye-bye.
So our performance checks, QNH still 1019.
880 Alpha, Unicorn 122.8, bye-bye.
And we just need to get on to Unicom. There's a lot happening here.
Hello traffic, speed Takeoff Alpha. Behind departing Scandinavia 319, line up away to the left.
So just hold there whilst we get some things done. Engine out procedure will continue the climb above minimum safe altitude, and then we shall come back in and land on runway 27 right. Landing weight is takeoff weight is below maximum landing weight. That is good. Our departure matches what we have in the FNGC. Stop altitude is 6,000 feet. Before takeoff checklist, flight controls are checked. We've done the departure briefing. Flap setting config 1. FMA takeoff date is 132 blue, 137 magenta. Climb nav blue, 6,000 blue, 1 FD2, and Toga is set. Transponder is also set. Ecam memo. Let's just make sure we've dinged the cabin crew for that. And TO config. We also want our weather radars on, and we can now go ahead and get ready for our departure as as well. We'll get the lights on, then we'll make the call on Unicom. Get the packs off. Takeoff checklist before takeoff checklist rather below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode select is norm. TCAS TARA packs off. Anti-ice off. London Heathrow traffic Scandinavian 78 Charlie lining up runway 27 left for the Brooklands Park 7 Golf departure.
Cabin crew, seats for takeoff, please.
Rather strangely, the lower ECAM doesn't appear to be updating to the correct page. I've also got a speed brake config error there. That's more of my hardware rather than the actual aircraft. They've now become disarmed, so let's just take care of that. Okay, that looks all good. Still not sure why the wheel pages aren't working. Just do a brake check. That's fine. Okay, looks good.
Have a good life, Canada Bird.
Many thanks, 78 Charlie. Okay, takeoff. Start the chrono. 50% in 1. And thrust stable, toga. Man toga, SRS, runway. V1 and rotate.
Heathrow traffic. Pacific Airlines system departure. Please line up runway 2 to my left, ready for departure.
And we need to maintain that runway track until 590 feet, then we can start to head right. There it is. A reminder, it's a noise abatement 1. Departure for us today, so set climb thrust, set thrust climb, keep that pitch up. Autopilot 1 engaged, pack 1 coming back on. And we're now in climb mode. Pack 2. No air traffic control around, so let's continue our climb up to flight level 200, set standard pressure. 200 blue confirmed.
Yellow traffic for 29 November, departing only 26 left, and also 1 entry departure. Yellow traffic.
We'll get above S speed and then obviously flaps back to 0. Just keep an eye on that temperature. It's starting to drop a little bit. We're coming out of those clouds though, so we should be okay. S speed, flaps 0, config 0, and the spoilers are now disarmed. Weather radar. Weather radar's looking good. Let's release the cabin crew. They can start preparing lots of tea and coffee for our fans this morning after one heck of an evening. Thank you to Matthew for following on Twitch. Really appreciate that. EU Ghost, no. We normally always fly Easyjet, but we've been under some different routes just while the European Football Championships have been on. So today we're flying Scandinavian. It is a real world flight as well, this guys, by the way. Find this on Flight Radar 24. Just continuing now to monitor our route.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll shortly begin our cabin service as we continue to climb to our cruising altitude. You may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable battery packs are also available to purchase from our cabin crew. You can also ask them about joining our frequent flyers and becoming a channel member. Thank you.
Passing 10,000 feet, we'll get those lights off. Get the airports on the EFIS and go to the RadNav page. We can clear that out. And then we'll go to the progress page in a moment. and check. We can climb to our cruise altitude today of 350. There's the optimum and maximum, so 350 no problem. Let's continue our climb. So let's, whoops, that's what happens when you zoom in too fast. 350 set. We're in open climb and nav now, however. That's okay. We'll go back into managed. There we go, climb. And 350 blue. All done. Weather's good, so guys, I'm going to take the seatbelt sign off. You can now stretch your legs, start to relax a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Matthew Swift, what is the transition altitude at airports? So, the transition altitude changes from airport to airport. It's different at every one, with the exception of the United States of America and Canada as well, I believe. They have a flat rate set of 18,000 feet, but everywhere else is different. So the transition altitude is usually fixed. The transition level normally changes as well, just to add to complications. The transition altitude you can normally find on the charts. Transition level is given to you by air traffic control. Orca on Facebook, thanks for liking the stream. So our flight time today is, what is the flight time today? About 1 hour 37 minutes, 1 hour 26 minutes. Oh, less than an hour and a half flight time today. Who was that asking about the cruise temperature? Was that, where do you find the cruising flight temperature on SimBrief? So in your operational flight plan, the cruising flight level is, is just there. There's the flight level, and then underneath we've got the cruise temperature, which is minus 46. Once we get up to our cruising altitude, we will of course do our top of climb checks. And we're heading out now. London to the south of us. Don't think we're going to see much of it though, due to cloud cover over London this morning. Eucladio, thank you on Twitch. That was a terrible pronunciation of your Twitch handle, but never mind. If you haven't done so already, guys, please do hit the like stream on the like button rather on the stream. It makes a massive difference to the rankings, so that's really appreciated if you can do that. So we've just passed 20,000 feet. We've gone up to 21,000 feet. Our cruising altitude today is 350, and we can just check if we go to our operational flight plan. Oh, where have you gone? Let's check if we go to the operational flight plan. Come down to the bottom here, and yeah, we're going to stay at 350 for the entire flight. Maxim done. Thank you very much. So what are you guys all doing this morning? Who's watching this whilst at work? Who's watching this while struggling to get out of bed? Silent flight showed a great approach into Luton this morning through the murkiness of the clouds. Yeah, low-level fog around Luton is quite regular, as it is with things like London City Airport and even Heathrow. Lots of lakes around there. Mashy, people say that LNAV isn't available in Microsoft Flight Simulator, yet the plane flies the program route. What's the difference? I think what they're talking about is perhaps improved LNAV. So you'll probably have noticed, some of you on approach to your final destination, that on the approach part of the flight, that sometimes the flight plan disappears, or the aircraft starts shooting off towards the runway, the final approach fix of the runway, which obviously doesn't happen in the real world and shouldn't happen. So I think it's just improved LNAV that they're all after. Lord Kumi, you're watching whilst at work, makes the morning easier to get through. Wow, well, I hope you're not a surgeon or anything like that. And Victor, you're currently landing in Manchester. Oh, the weather I think is pretty good around Manchester. I'm only about 30 miles away. Mind you, there's the Pennines between Manchester and myself, so it's usually different weather entirely from what I've got looking out of my my garden.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to commence our service of hot drinks and alcoholic beverages. Please assist us by ensuring your tray tables are down and that the aisles are kept clear of bags. Our drinks menu can be found in the pocket in front of you. We serve a variety of local and international coffee, tea, beers, wines, and spirits. Please note that alcoholic drinks will not be served to those under 18 years of age. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
So we're still in the cruise phase of the flight, looking very nice. I like the SAS livery with a little bandit mask around it. Maxim, you're working as usual, but it's about lunchtime. Ah, perfect excuse. And we've got traffic below us, look at that. Whichever aircraft he seems to be, he's jetting away, isn't he? Do you know what I've not seen yet as AI traffic whilst flying? Is the 747 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've not seen that. I'm just curious as to whether hopefully it will leave 4 contrails, not the not 2. But he's getting away from me quite clearly. I'm not sure he'll be on TCAS because we've got our tilt set to traffic above. Oh, actually, there he is. Here's that. On the same departure routing as us as well. If anyone's got VATSIM, I'm sure they'll be able to spot the route for that aircraft. We're coming up on 30,000 feet now. We should be out of cruise altitude in around 5 minutes or so. Just get the standby back to its standard pressure. Keep an eye on this fuel burn as well, and then once we get to cruise we'll do a fuel check and make sure everything's working there. Cholty, good morning, sir. What are you taking apart today? Maxim, you didn't know about traffic contrails visibility. They've been around for a while. There we go. Off he goes. Way out in front. He's clearly in a hurry, wherever he's going. Abudi, good morning. Wayne, thanks for the like on Facebook. Can always rely on you for that. Has that traffic just disappeared? And it's no longer on TCAS either, actually. Wayne, good morning, sir. Silent flights, the traffic is a Cathay Pacific flight off to Copenhagen. Was he out of London Heathrow as well? Maxim, you rarely use VATSIM, unfortunately. Maxim, you really should get into that, mate. It's awesome for realism, as we've seen before. So we've no centre controls online. I don't know if we've got any air traffic control coming up in Scandinavia, but never mind. When you come over to YouTube for better images. Ah, that's fair enough. So Mike is also going to Copenhagen, is he? I guess it depends on what Mach number he's going to be flying at. We're going to be flying around Mach 7, 8, I think. Silent flights, he's now gone into the ether now. He did seem to disappear rather abruptly, didn't he? And I think there's the coastline now. We're about to depart over the UK. Mike is also dropped off VATSPY too. Oh, that sounds like a sim crash, doesn't it? What's this traffic that's just pinged up for me? Well, this is interesting because he's 2,000 feet above me and he's descending. He also looks like he's coming on a collision course. This could be interesting. Currently 20 miles away. We're about to stop our climb in 1,000 feet. Oh well. Get rid of YouTube's best bits. Now he's at our same level and he's going beneath us. Can we spot him anywhere? Just looking for a contrail. Can't see one. He's now 10 miles away. It's difficult to spot aircraft in the daytime as it is. But he's now 2,000 feet below us, so he's clear of conflict. Super Deal Aviation, I don't currently use one because there's not one that's simple, easy and practical. I'm sure one will be around soon enough, but not just at the moment, sadly. There he is. HK's Flight Simulation, good morning. In all that excitement, we missed the FMA changes, but we are Mac Alt Cruise, flight level 350. We're at the top of the climb. Let's sit back and our passengers can now relax safely. Cabin crew are making their way around. Ah, good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, once again, just to let you know, we've reached our cruise level for today's flight. We're not anticipating any delays, so we should have you at your destination on time as planned. As the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, please make sure they are looking at any items. We're ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
So slight tailwind of 8 knots, and we're about 10 miles from Redfern. That's where we leave UK airspace, if memory serves correctly. We've got 0.4 tons of fuel extra taken on board with us today. Let's have a look at the operational flight plan. When we get to Redfern, what should we expect to see in the tanks then? There we go. With the top climb just before it, that works out quite nicely. So I'm looking to see around 4.4 tons in the tank. I've got 4.6 tons. Beautiful. We've burnt 200 kilograms less fuel than expected. I like that. Zhao, flight numbers at the top of the screen, mate. Cycle through those SD pages. Bleed air all looks normal. Cabin pressure is good. Electronics working as they should. Hydraulics 3000 psi. Fuel used 1.5 tons, so that's 6 tons. Great, no fuel leaks. APU off. Cabin temperature is 24 degrees. Doors all closed and armed. Brake temperatures good, and flight computers all working. Systems normal. Excellent. We'll get some en route weathers and see what's also happening in Copenhagen. Send those off. And I think what does our route take us today over Amsterdam? Let me just have a quick look. No, not too far away from Amsterdam. Here's our flight route today. So we've just left the coast. Is that Redfern? Just there? Oh, that's Ratlow. There's Redfern, so that's where we're just passing. And then, obviously, we'll then take a northeasterly routing all the way up to Dozer waypoint. Bit of a shortcut there, not taking any specific airways on this flight until we get from here, and then we're in almost on the star, aren't we? Wayne, you watched the BA training video on YouTube demonstrating the cross-bleed engine startup. Is the procedure modelled in the fly-by-wire? Do you know, Wayne? I don't know. Not sure. I'd have to try it. Maybe not now whilst we're in the air. I'm quite happy to leave those running. I remember fiddling around once before and we lost an engine in flight. So, current METAR in Copenhagen, winds 160 at 10. Bit of a crosswind landing coming in, nothing too significant. No clouds detected though, that's good. So have great visibility. Current QNH is 1022. And the alternate, again, light winds, good visibility. And Amsterdam, where we'll be just passing north of shortly. Again, good visibility. Light variable winds. So all airports on our radar today are wide open. That is good. And Super Deal, thank you very much for your kind donation. And Super Deal says thanks, and it's a pleasure to fly with me. Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys on board. Makes for great flying when you guys are here. And there we can see the Netherlands coming up. And now we're off to Dulce, which is 265 miles away. Okay, guys, I'm just going to go and get a quick drink refresh, and then I shall be back with you. But just before I go, VM Gaming, you need help. Why is your trim plus 40% whilst cruising? You can't even set your trim at 40%. We use CFG figures or up and down figures on the trim wheels. It should all be automatic. I presume VM Gaming, you're talking about the A320. If you're talking about another aircraft, I'm not certain I can help you. But we don't touch the trim wheels, other than right at the very start of the flight. But we've got morning sun, we've got almost cloudless skies, making for a great view this morning. So, as I say, I'm just going to quickly head back, go and refresh my drink. I shall be back with you very soon. And, yeah, just give me 5 minutes, and I'll be back in the flight deck with you. I'll leave you with the dulcet tones of some cabin music and what looks like a fantastic view over the North Sea. Back in 5, guys. Hey guys, back with you. That's a great view of the Dutch landscape coming into view, isn't it? I like that. VM Gaming, you're currently doing a flight Doha to Heathrow, but your trim is too high. Where are you getting this 40% value from, VM? That would be interesting to know. As far as I'm aware, there's nowhere you can see on the eCams where you get a percentage value for the for the trim setting. Donny, yours looks different. How so? Ian, you had a long haul problem with the fuel. 15 minutes early, use 1.7 tons more than the P12 flight plan. Remember that everything in the flight plan, you should have more. You should have more. That is your minimums. Oh, Lord Cunny, you can see the percent of the trim when you're using the external view. Ah, right, I get it. I don't use that. It's just not realistic. Should be on the ground in less than 1 hour. Donny, yeah, I use the developer version of this fly-by-wire aircraft, and a beautiful version it is too. So if we just go to the fuel prediction page, let's work out what our estimated landing weight is going to be. So we've currently got, let's see, so how much fuel are we expected to burn? So we're expected to burn for the remainder of our flight 2,100 kilograms of fuel. So our landing weight is expected to be 61 tons. Let's have a look at the performance calculator, shall we? So we're going to be landing at Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, and we'll get the metaphor there as it is at the moment. Right, now we need the Navigraph charts to have a look at our runway information. We're going to be landing on 22 left. The runway altitude is 8. Just realised I need to pop that out because I can't type things into that otherwise. So the runway altitude is going to be 8. The runway slope is negligible. We can ignore that for this. Landing distance available then for runway 22. Let's have a look and get the chart up for that. So what is it? 22 left we're landing on, isn't it? 22 left, and landing distance is going to be, I think it's the full distance actually. There's no displaced thresholds or anything like that for this runway. So it is going to be 3,300 meters. Approach speed is going to be... Well, it's not actually calculated yet. We've not done the calculations for the approach speed, but approach speed of 130. Let's pop that in just there for now. Approach speed of 130. Our landing weight, we've just confirmed, is going to be 61 tons. We could be a little bit conservative with that. Let's go 61.5 tons, just in case we don't burn quite as much fuel as I expected. So let's go with 61.5 tons. It is going to be a fully configured landing. Don't need to run the overweight procedure, and reverse thrust, no. Let's calculate. Oh, I haven't put the runway heading in. Runway heading is 217. Not entirely sure how accurate this is yet. This is still in beta testing. And calculate that again. There we go. I thought when it was saying low that we'd run off the end of the runway. Didn't think that was quite right. That's better. So given that low brakes would stop us in 2,094 meters and the runway length is 3,300 meters, we don't need any brakes for that. We will stop quite happily just using idle thrust, idle reverse. Excellent, that's the landing performance checks all done. So the flypad that you've just seen me using and that performance calculator is not yet available. It's still in testing, it's not completely accurate, and what's really annoying is things like this. So okay, I've just done all these calculation checks, but what if I get a little bit further down and I realise I need to change the landing weight because it's going to be higher or it's going to be lower. But in the meantime, I've also gone to the OFP, I want to check things, and then I go back to the performance calculator and, oh actually it does hold it. Ah, well, that's something that's been fixed. Things used to disappear. But the operational flight plan, for example, doesn't hold the zoom, doesn't hold the page. It's a minor niggle, but things that they want to get right. And this doesn't update itself perfectly either. So there's been times where VATSIM controllers have been in range, but these aren't showing, so that will come as well. And the Navigraph charts also don't work as well as they want them to. As soon as it's all perfect, then it will be released. So that's why you'll not see me using Navigraph charts on here just yet. So OPC, is that the newest version of the dev? No, it's not actually. It's not the newest version of the dev. Donnie, it does look amazing, and when it's fully functional, that's when it will be really, really good. So, at Charlie Hotel 883, I'm just looking at our landing now that we'll be doing soon. So, Charlie Hotel 883, I want to be at about 6,000 feet coming in. So, what I'm going to do to help us plan our descent is, let's pop that into the progress page. I'm not even sure if that will recognise this particular waypoint. Charlie Hotel 883. Let's see if this works. Oh, spot on. And I want to be at 6,000 feet by this particular point. We're currently cruising at 34, are we? Sorry, 35. So what's that? 35 minus 6 is 29. 29 times 3, call it 30 times 3, about 90 miles. However, we've got a tailwind, so 95. We also want to start slowing down as well, so 95, about 100 miles away from this waypoint. We're going to start our descent. Who needs VNAV? Bart, good morning. You're always late for these streams. Have we already discussed the penalty that wasn't one? Yes, we have, but we rectified it by saying that Harry Kane should have had one, so it's all good. Thank you, Bart and Mark Demare on Facebook for the likes just there. Wayne, I am with you on that. I want Azobo to get that fixed so quickly. North Ahmed, no, I don't use track IR. Donny, you hope this aircraft becomes like the FS Labs. Oh, me too. I mean, the FlyByWire team are doing an amazing job, but just sadly they haven't got the resources at the moment because everyone's going back to work. I keep saying this. They were all doing it for free in their spare time, and so many people had so much spare time last year, didn't they? But they're all going back to work, which we can't say anything bad about. Everyone needs to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, our cabin crew will be around shortly to commence our hot meal and snack service. Please ensure that your tray tables are in the downward position. To assist our cabin crew, please keep the aisles free of bags and any other items you may have. The food and snacks menu can be found in the back pocket of the seat in front of you. There is also a children's selection of food and healthy snacks available. Please dispose of any rubbish you may have in the bag provided at the ends of the aisles. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
If you're lucky enough to be sat on the right hand side of the aircraft, then you have got a great view. If you're on the left hand side, you've just got lots and lots of blue sky and sea. But that's a lovely view, isn't it? I do like that. And you can see the weather pattern looking really rather realistic. You've just got the clouds over the land, which is where you more often find it with thermals. And the shading of the darker, thicker cloud. We don't praise the weather system enough here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Lord Cooney, you love the airlines have to put no step on the engine cowling just in case the village idiots get loose. Well, you have to remember that's not for that's not for the village idiots. That's if you end up making a water or an emergency landing. The passengers can come out over the wings, and how are they going to get down? They are going to look at that and think, oh, that engine, that looks like a handy way to get down. Yakovic, good morning. You've just woke up. It was about 3 a.m. You stayed up till 3 a.m. flying around on VATSIM in the UK. Who on earth was around at 3 a.m. on VATSIM, particularly yesterday morning, or sorry, this morning? Josh Deegan, thank you very much for subscribing. Good morning, Josh. Hope you are well. So continuing just to plan our arrival, transition altitude in to Copenhagen is 5,000 feet. What's our platform altitude? 3,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude is going to be nice and low around here, isn't it? As we're coming in over here, it's going to be 2,100 feet and then 1,700 feet. And what approach are we doing? Cat 1. Visibility is fantastic. There's no clouds reported. So 550 meters or above, it's going to be Cat 1, which is 208 decision altitude. And ILS frequency 109.5, such a common frequency for an ILS. Runway elevation is 8, and the missed approach procedure is a left-hand turn after 500 feet to 3,000 feet. To a heading of 187. Bart, I think it's more of a safety issue. Don't step on it, because if it breaks and that engine's still spinning, you could end up getting sucked into it. I don't know. If Cholt is on board, I'm sure he can help us. Oops, come back. Should probably look at the taxi in as well. So we land just here to left, and then we can vacate either onto Bravo 5 or onto Charlie. We'll then taxi either way via Bravo, crossing runway 30. And then from that we can taxi down, I think it's Kilo, is it not? Yeah, Bravo onto... oh, sorry, actually we go Bravo onto Yankee. And then Yankee we shall be parking at... I'm not actually sure where SAS park, but any of the parking stands over here. We can go into Mike. So that's all our arrival briefing done in good time. We're getting closer now. We should probably just check how far are we away from that waypoint. A couple hundred miles away. So 100 miles before our descent. And we also need to see how we're going to get weather yet, or we're too far away. Oh no, we'll get the weather. Get the latest weather, we'll fill in the approach page. So we'll do ATSU and AOC menu, weather request, and send that off. When that comes through, we'll print it out, pop it in the perf page. Ruari plays games. Sterling is fantastic at dive-ins, but the Italians are better. Oh, no one beats the Italians. And the Brazilians. The Brazilians were pretty good at it as well. Oh, the sun's making that difficult to read, isn't it? First world problems. What's the QNH? Is 1022. The temperature is 21 degrees. That's just nice, isn't it? Wind is is 160 at 10. So there's going to be a light crosswind landing for this today. Transition altitude is 5,000 feet. And James Lord Akuni Malloy on Facebook, thank you for the like and the follow as well, really appreciate that. And the decision altitude is 208. Now, if you remember, we briefed and did the landing distance calculation with a VAP of 130. We're actually going to use a 129, so still on the conservative side, so we're happy that that's all still nice and valid. Yakovic, you weren't really bothered who won the game, but you were nervous because of how tight it was. Yeah, you know, if England had gone out, obviously I would have been absolutely gutted. But at least I'd have been able to say, well, you know what a great game. Husky 1, good afternoon from, Vancouver? Was that Vancouver, CEO? Apologies for my lack of Canadian knowledge there. And landfall is made again, finally. After a short trip across the North Sea. Montreal, Husky 1, thank you. I think the USA is the only airport where the 4-letter code and 3-letter codes are actually related, aren't they? So the 3-letter codes, such as LaGuardia, JFK, just stick a K in front of it. Ah, ATC! Fantastic. 12137. Centre, good morning, Scandinavian 78 Charlie, flight level 350 inbound Dosa.
Ryanair 78 Charlie, Copenhagen control, good morning, identified. Clear to launch to Fox at arrival, landing runway 22 left.
Landing 22 left, and just confirm the star arrival for us again, please, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, Tutlo to Foxtrot.
The Tutlo to Fox arrival, runway 22 left, Scandinavian 78 Charlie. Okay, that's not the one we planned, but no problem. So it's still going to be the ILS 22 left.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, proceed at Corsa, Kilo, Oscar Romeo, when ready descend flight level 280.
Proceed direct, Kilo Oscar Romeo, and we'll report ready to descend flight level 280 for Scandinavian 78 Charlie. Should have pulled that heading bug just before doing that, and we can now proceed direct to Kilo Oscar Romeo, insert, and I also need to make sure we've got the right charts up then for this particular arrival. So we've now got the right chart, and we're going to get vectors in, so that's okay. The progress page, and I'm going to put the VOR in here, 100 miles away. And with regards to our descent planning, that actually is not going to help us too much. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put in the airport, which is Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel 2 left. 133 miles. We'll probably need to start heading down now actually then, because we're at 350. It's going to take us 105 miles or so to get down. We've got that tailwind, so let's begin our descent to flight level 280. Scandinavian 78 Charlie descending now, flight level 280.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Thrust idle open descent 280 blue.
Hold up on 1 Copenhagen control.
High moisture in the air as well. Just check that sat temperature. Starts to drop down. We'll probably need to get de-ice on as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, take advantage today of some fantastic savings and offers from our in-flight magazine. This can be found in the back pocket of the seat in front of you. These shopping ideas and gifts offer you tax-free savings with many items not available anywhere else and exclusive to you during your flight today. Our cabin crew will be around shortly to also offer you the chance to purchase airline lottery tickets. There is a chance to win some fantastic prizes, including cash and holidays. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
So on our way down, sorry I was ignoring the chat just while sorting some things out just there. Yakovich, have I made any changes to the graphics settings in the video I made 5 months ago? No, not at all. No, I've kept them as they were. I think I may have improved render scaling, maybe up to 130, but that's about it. Buddy, we'll land in about half an hour, 30 minutes.
Ryan, 7 Delta Foxtrot, push and start approved, QNH 102.
Start up, push start approved, QNH 102.
Ryan, good morning. Phil, you've just overflown us as Lufthansa 446. Feel like you're among royalty. Oh, we have no airs and graces here. I'm going to check that RadNav page and make sure the frequency 109.5. Yep. Also for our planning, we can put Castrup's VOR in there, so that'll give us instant range, so I can keep an eye on that vertical profile. $104 miles away. So there we are now, flight level 280. I've just noticed we've got a dashed line there, so let me just pull that to heading mode, push that back to nav mode, and there we go. We've got solid green lines again.
Calling Copenhagen, you're unbeatable. Scandinavian 78 Charlie, descend flight level 11 today.
Flight level 110 of Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Scandinavian 11 Charlie, 11 today is to be leveled by Corsa.
And flight level 110 level by Corsa for Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Copenhagen control, der Tango Bravo Charlie.
Thrust idle open descent 110 blue.
Station calling Copenhagen, second.
Delta India Bravo Charlie Tango request
Delta India, Bravo Charlie Tango, Copenhagen Control.
So I've just put the course of VOR in there as well. We've got 16 miles to go, and we've got plenty of time to get down there now.
Delta Charlie Tango, Copenhagen Control, good afternoon. You are cleared to your destination, runway 27 in use. Climb runway heading, flight level 60, and expect direct to Dinut.
So now just monitoring that rate of descent. We want flight level 110 by the KOR VOR, which is why I've just put that on here. So mental arithmetic can keep me going with that. Very slightly below the profile, but that's okay at this stage.
Great day 962, Copenhagen Control, good afternoon, identified. Climb flight level 220.
Flight level 220, great day 9.
Well, no clouds were detected in the METAR that we had. This looks a little bit cloudy. Nothing to concern us, just looks a little bit different. Having said that, we are still 81 miles away from Kastrup, so the weather could indeed change before there. So what I'm expecting to happen is when we get to the Corsa VOR, we'll most likely be told to fly a heading of 031 degrees, and we know this because of the chart. So this is the route we're taking, the Tudlow to Fox arrival. So from Corsa we expect 031. Of course he could give us a different heading, but if not, that's the course that we're going to follow until ATC tell us different.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, descent flight level 80, contact Copenhagen, Copenhagen approach, frequency 119.8, bye-bye.
Send flight level 80 and over to Copenhagen now on 119.8 for Scandinavian 78 Charlie. Thanks for the service, bye-bye.
Okay, we'll maintain present heading and we'll expect a delay vector. Thank you, Sandra 45.
Copenhagen approach, good morning, Scandinavian 78 Charlie, passing flight level 210480.
Scandinavian 78 Charlie, Copenhagen identified. Leave Kilo Oscar Romeo, heading 08, correction 060, weather vector swan is 182 to left.
Leave Corsica VOR at 060 and expect vectors for runway 22 left, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Scandinavian 156, proceed direct K-Max, resume modification.
Okay, so obviously he's given us a slightly different routing, but we know where we're going, so as we pass over the VOR, we'll pull the heading plug and set 60. Joel, good morning. Ryan E, so yeah, I'm just doing sort of mental calculations and I'm using the rule of 3 to make sure that we are on the right descent profile. So I've got 28 miles to run. I want to be at 110 by the time we get here. That's not going to be no problem. I've only got 6,000 feet to lose. It only takes about 18 miles to do that, 6 times 3. So I can probably slow our rate of descent down, actually. And to do that, we pull the VS speed.
Tango 45, we're going to step away for 5 seconds.
Fairtrex Gaming, good morning.
Report back, Tango 45.
Lee SP, thank you for following and the like, of course, and same to Kevin a moment ago. Joel, is it? Do you mean is it tiring to fly an aircraft in the simulator? Do you know what it can be?
Bravo 4, Shuttle 92.
Shuttle 932, thank you. Course runway 30, home shuttle for takeaway Zulu.
Yakovich, I have no idea. If you join a virtual airline, I guess you've got to follow their rules.
Course runway 30.
And cross runway 30.
145, we're back.
Thank you.
That's a great view out the window though, isn't it?
Leaving Danish airspace, Sweden is offline, uniform 1 to decimal coach.
Ryan E, you have to remember when using open descent that it uses the speed to determine its rate of descent. So if you're trying to slow your aircraft down and descend, it will slow the aircraft down before starting its descent. The aircraft does not go down and slow down at the same time very well.
Continue Bravo and for expect parking stand Delta 3.
But yeah, you always need to put in the QNH.
It'll be Bravo or Victor and Sierra.
They're not linked. Joel, you most certainly have to pay for this one.
Bravo and Victor Sierra for Delta 3.
Jump 845, turn right heading 310.
310 is 145.
Okay, I'm going to pull the speed bug as well because we're going to have to start slowing down pretty soon. Below 10,000 feet. That tailwind has dropped off as well, which is quite nice. And we're going to be, we've got about 6 miles to run to the KOR VOR, and we're going to cross that at flight level 110 as we were told to do. So the mental math calculation has has worked out regardless of the fact that we were up very late last night. Joel, no one needs to see my face, mate. MD on Facebook, thank you for that like. So we've just slowed down our rate of descent just to help us lose speed. We've now left the KOR VOR at heading 060. Could turn that off. So Bart, the QNH I got from the Metar printout.
Coming approach goal formally, scan delivery and 51 Yankee ready to check.
Get 51 Yankee, keep around, base order 885.
We can get those lights on.
Delivering 51 Yankee for info.
Approach checklist, minimums are set both sides, engine mode select is normal, electronic flight bag is stowed, and we've briefed our arrival and our taxi.
51 Yankee, Tango is correct, your pitch around and gateway via the link 1 Charlie departure, score 5212.
Oh, Bart, I see what you're saying. I think that's the simulator settings, whatever you've got your simulator set to.
1 Yankee, correct.
cabin crew if you require assistance. The toilets will now go out of use until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on. Whilst seated, please find the airline magazine in the front pocket.
Subject 45, turn right heading 020.
So now gone back to speed and open descent.
Right 020, Tom Jet 45.
78 Charlie, descend all discretion 5,000 feet, QNH 1022.
Descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1022, Scandinavian 78 Charlie. $5,000 blue set, and we're on local pressure. We don't need a fast rate of descent because we're going to have to fly obviously past the runway to get in, so about 1,000 feet per minute should do quite nicely.
Governor approach, hello. Lufthansa 5 Lima passing flight 118, 0 descending flight 88, 0 inbound Adui and A320 new. Good afternoon, Lufthansa 5 Lima Copenhagen identified. Descent flight 70, expect weather vectors 1 is on the 2 to left. Descent flight 70, expect vectors 42 to left. Lufthansa 5 Lima fixer. Just so while I'm monitoring our descent, listening to our traffic control, my apologies if I'm not paying too much attention to the chat from this particular time. Exodo, you've tried the custom cameras, but they're all mussed up. Chances are you've popped them into the wrong file. Have you followed the video on the channel and make sure you get those in the correct file? There's a lot of folders that are called the same thing, but folders within subfolders. If you put them in the wrong one, you will indeed mess them up. Always back up the originals first. So Castrap is around 20 miles away at 1 o'clock. And let's just go ahead and check what speed restrictions we've got. So if we need to slow down, start slowing down, we can do. Scandinavian 78 Charlie, are there any speed restrictions for us this morning? 78 Charlie, actually no speed restriction for now, and you can set up for approximately 6 miles fine.
Roger, no speed restrictions, and we'll prepare for approach with 6 mile final, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Sound 845, turn right heading 110.
Right, so with a 6 mile final, that's not long, so I'm going to start slowing the aircraft down. Approach mode. Let's get that set. Sorry, approach phase. That's now on, so aircraft will now start reducing speed.
Skyman 78 Charlie, descend 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000 feet, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Copenhagen approach. Very good afternoon, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Airbus 319 at gate Charlie 33 with Tango. Request clearance to Manchester, please.
Hello, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Information Tango is correct. Cleared Manchester. Lango 1 Charlie departure. Squawk 5043.
Clearance file to Manchester via Lango 1.
Rolo, we're in Scandinavian colours this morning. Quick look for you. So, given the fact that I've got a 6 mile final, I don't want to be too fast. So, with those no speed restrictions confirmed from air traffic control, we can slow down in a moment. We're reducing down to green dot speed anyway. Speed is slowly bleeding off.
Charlie, if you can do so, give me the best forward speed that you can do in the approach. Thank you.
Roger, best forward speed for Scandi 78 Charlie.
Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, descend altitude 5,000 feet, clearing 1022. Decent altitude 5,000 feet, condition 022, distance stop.
Right, so I've set 230 knots. That gives me the ability to start configuring almost straight away. Scandinavian 78 Charlie, we're at 230 knots. Do you need any more from us?
No, that's actually fine. I can offer you a visual approach as well.
No, we're okay with the ILS for 22 left, if that's okay. Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
78 Charlie, no problem. Expect so. And yeah, it'll be at 6 miles fine.
Roger, Scandinavian 78 Charlie. So as soon as we get told to start the turn, we're going to slow the aircraft down and get flaps 1 followed swiftly by flaps 2.
130.
Tango 45.
And the airport should just be over to our right. There it is. John, thank you for subscribing.
Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, maintain present heading, vectors minus 182 to the left. Maintain present heading and vectors are ILS 2 to the left. Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima. In fact, can we request a visual approach runway 2 to the left? Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, Aurora, you can expect so. You are currently number 3. Expect visual runway 2 to the left. Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, thank you. Skeleton 78 Charlie, turn right, heading 080 and descend 2,000 feet.
080, descend 2,000 feet, and just reducing speed slightly now for Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Yep, that's fine.
So we're on open descent 080.
Subject 45, turn right heading 190, descend 3,000 feet. As your cleared ILS 182 to left.
Descend 3,000, heading 190.
And now we'll start to configure. There's the glide slope. So flaps 1, speed checked.
45.
Flaps 1. Just keep an eye on the TCAS just there. I believe that aircraft is climbing or is staying level at this particular moment in time. He's at 4,000 feet, so I'm not sure if ATC are bringing him in.
Subject 45, speed maximum 200 for now.
200 on the speed, Tango 45.
Skeleton 78 Charlie, turn right heading 190, cleared ILS 182 to left.
190 cleared ILS 22 left, 78 Charlie. So just dropping down to S speed. Localizer is engaged.
Skeleton 78 Charlie, speed 180 knots or greater until 6 miles out.
180 knots or greater till 60 ME, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, descend 3,000 feet and speed 200. Descend 3,000 and speed 200, Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima. Subject 45, speed is 170 knots till 5 miles out.
170 to 5 mile final, Tango 45.
Okay, let's go flaps 2, speed checked. Flaps 2. And we'll pull speed at 180 knots. There's our runway.
turn left to a heading of 360. Left heading 360, Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima. Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, you're number 3. The traffic is to follow is Boeing 737, currently on a 10-mile sign. Reporting sign, she is at your 10 o'clock.
Glide slope blue, lock blue, cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. 6 miles, let's start configuring landing gear.
Got the traffic, Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima.
Spoilers.
That's traffic to follow.
Ding the cabin.
And visual approach on the 2 to left here.
Glide slope and lock star. Missed approach set.
Skydive 78 Charlie, service turn 160 degrees, 10 knots. 182 to left, clear today.
Clear to land to 2 left. Scandi 78 Charlie. Flaps 3, speed checked. And we can start to slow down to final approach speed.
The visual 22 left, our localizer isn't working for some reason.
Atlantic 45, order. So you can cancel approach clearance, turn it heading 080.
Flaps full.
Left 080 for
landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude is set. Landing memo. ECAM no blue. 1,000 feet.
That's standby. We'll figure it out. I think we're just a little late on the frequency change for Tango 45.
And there's that slight crosswind coming over from the left. Autopilot 1 and 2 disengaged. I have control. Just watching that glide slope slightly as we're fractionally below it. Nothing too concerning.
No speed restriction. Speed is 95 Lima, thank you. Number 45, same 2, no speed restriction.
Roger, thank you. Tango 45.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
And reverse is on. Spoilers deployed. Decel.
Can we have vectors for the visual, Tango 45?
70 knots. Reverse is off.
I expect visual approach, turn left heading 030.
Left 030, Tango 45.
And we'll vacate right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at our destination. The crew
Tango 45, we're going to try to localize again, and if that doesn't go well, we'll just hand fly it in on the visual for Tango 45.
Atlantic 45, that's covered. Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, service wind on 60 degrees, 10 knots. Your main is clear today. Clear to the left, Lufthansa 5 Bravo Lima, sorry, can you put it in the day? Yeah, service wind 16 degrees at 109. Thank you very much, sir. Skydive 78 Charlie, welcome to Copenhagen. Join taxiway Bravo, cross runway 30, hold short of Zulu.
Onto taxiway Bravo, cross runway 30 and hold short of Zulu for Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Jump 845, descend 2,000 feet.
2,000, Tango 45.
Let's get those radars off. And TCAS, of course. we've briefed where we are going, and it
good
matches up nicely with what he's told us to do.
Lingo 1 Charlie, Squawk 0533.
So after we've crossed runway 30, we'll hold short of Zulu. Obviously runway 30 not in use at the moment.
Correction 717, playback.
And we might be able to see, I think there was an aircraft, or maybe 2 aircraft behind us coming in, wasn't there? So I do have a replay set up for this as well, which we'll have a look at once we've got parked up.
Skeleton 78 Charlie, consider my taxi way Romeo, stand Delta 1, cross runway 1.
Continue on to Romeo and stand Delta 1 for Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Sunset 45, Chile setting 250, clear out is runway 2 to left.
So that is straight across here, bear left slightly,
runway 22 left.
and Delta 1 is straight ahead of us.
Skeleton 78 Charlie, consider my Romeo, stand Delta 1.
Continue via Romeo, stand Delta 1, Scandinavian 78 Charlie.
Scandinavian 518, stand Bravo, AQNH 172, approach position start.
So I believe that is literally dead ahead of us just there. Let's get that APU started actually. And get the tax lights off as we're coming in.
Scandinavian 42 Bravo at gate Charlie 33, request push and start.
Support your path behind the company now taxing from left to right, push start up ship hold behind to face south.
Push and start approved facing to south with company Scandinavian 42 Bravo.
So straight in approach on the taxi, that doesn't happen too often. Sadly, no ground crew to meet us today.
Jet 45, establish localizer, runway 22 left.
Turn 45, great news. Continue approach 102 left.
Continue approach 22 left, Jet 45.
Good 5 Mile Lima, welcome to Copenhagen. Takes my power on Charlie, hold short runway 12.
And the APU is running. Great stuff. Okay, I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM before we watch the landing back. So big thanks to them. Off they go. We also get to get rid of self-loading cargo. And right, let's watch that landing. That was nicely done by air traffic control. Let me just load that up. I need to leave the engines running for the landing, of course. Otherwise, it's a bit strange. And we just get the correct one. There it is. So this should be up in the air with us in a second. Dr. Magic, the ground crew are truly depressed. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's just skip forward a little bit. It was a very nice short final. So can hit play just there. Look out the window and enjoy the remainder of the flight here. They've done a really good job, haven't they, since sim update number 4, was it? Or was it number 5? I've lost track now of the Nordics. Looking really good. Sean, the landing quality software, do you mean the landing rate? Oh, there's a few things that do that. So mine comes from the overlay at the top, the FlyLive Studio. I'm not entirely sure how accurate they are, to be honest with you. And self-loading cargo also gives one as well. The two are usually very different, so don't worry about the landing rates too much. Make sure you're on the center line and in the landing zone. They're more important. But hopefully we've given you some entertainment this morning, bringing the Danish fans home after their valiant attempt to beat the English football team yesterday. Truth be told, there were moments I didn't think England were going to do it
particularly after the first 10 minutes into the first half. I thought the Danes had come ready and prepared, and we were just well, we looked off the boil, didn't we? Certainly calmed the crowd down. Couldn't fault the Danish team for that. They silenced Wembley. Wayne, that's one hell of a bridge. Yes. Dr. Steve, self-loading cargo gave you a landing rate of 1 feet per minute the other day. Not aggressive enough. That's true. You don't want a low touchdown rate. Certainly nothing like that. How do you know if you're coming in that softly? How do you know you've actually touched down? You need to feel that ground contact so that you know you're down. Otherwise, just you risk doing a balked landing, and you need to vacate. You need to toga thrust, and off you go again. Looked quite nice, that, didn't it? Let's nip over to the other window and have a look. Oh, maybe not that far out. That's one heck of a wind farm, isn't it? Clouds look fantastic coming in there. We had high level cloud, and they did say there was no clouds detected around the airport. They were right. No clouds getting in the way of our arrival this this morning. Leonard, yeah, so the bridge connects Denmark to Sweden. I think they've had similar daft talks over here about a bridge connecting Ireland to England or Scotland. How long would that bridge need to be? And I'm sure they've discussed a bridge between France and England before. That just sounds like a bad old idea all round, to be honest. Wayne, you sailed under that bridge in a warship in the late 70s. Wow. Dr. Steve, I'm using flight control replay. Danny, good morning, sir. Dropping in. Danny, yeah, that was the worst penalty I've ever seen Kane take. Thank God he reacted faster than any of the other defenders. Good stuff. And Euclidio on Twitch, you've got camera views working. Spot on. Glad that's sorted for you. Alright guys, that's me done for the day. Thank you very much to all of you who've watched the stream this morning. Hope you have enjoyed that and it's provided education and entertainment, of course. Remember, that's what the channel was initially all set up for, to give you education on flying the Airbus A320 in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Big thank you to those of you that have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during the flight today, and of course, as always, to the ever grateful to the ever supporting Easyjetsimpilot channel members. Big thanks to you guys for that. I'm going to leave you with one final replay as we bring those Dane fans home after a fantastic game. One more game to go, and pretty soon I'm going to be back flying those orange colours, because it seems like forever since I've been I've been on my EasyJet colours. So I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Have a great day, guys. See you all again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
10,